Talks on Booth TV.
It's really serious out there when you're trying to actually
you
get
gotta
out
make
there
it.
and try to
You gotta
get jobs
Yeah.
yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't wait on nobody to get you a job. You know, you have to actually go out there
And you
apply
gotta be
the fucking
responsible.
method. And
What do
fucking
you call
yes, because I do have customers. You know what I mean? Oh, I ain't speaking on myself, but other people do have customers that you know what I mean. You want customers, you know what I mean. You want you to come back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's what they have to do.
But you want them to tell other people.
I know. I really feel like
I challenge my mind on that.
anything.
You know, I challenge my mind on that. I challenge on my mind to make these people want me to come back because I'm gonna be there.
One thing I heard was like when you talk about word of mouth, positive word of mouth versus negative word of mouth, right? So like every one person that gives you a good review or says good things about your business or your name spreads to 10 people. Every person that says a negative thing about your business or your thing spreads to 100 people.
Yeah, and it's weird how negative stuff travels.
Well, the thing is, and but negative is very dark. You know, it's just like but some people think negative is enlightening. You know, it's okay to think negative, but us as an American, we think negative.
Well, I think negative's not necessarily.
You know hope for the best.
What about thinking realistically? It's different. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, negative is just a something that people put on something, right? But there are certain things that are inevitable. You know what I'm saying? And I think that
people fucked up in the head. They wait to get fucked up around here.
Right?
They fuck up and get fucked up and caught up in the streets and shit.
Yeah.
And they hoping this shit and they don't go to jail. Like, oh man, nah. You can't put your faith in that now. You know what I'm saying?
It's even that though, like
what you say?
The time.
The time is 10:35. It's still early.
No, but the thing about it is haters are a real thing.
Haters gonna hate.
Haters gonna hate.
Well, you know why? That's why makers they keep making things happen, son.
But when you when you try to build a landscape business, it's like every positive what do they call it, review that you get is gold. It's worth its weight gold. You know what I'm saying?
Like I said.
Because when people is talking about your business positively,
right?
Other people, and then it's like that's how people get whole neighborhoods. And then the whole neighborhood grows into like 2, 3 neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying?
So that's my style, man. That's what I do, man. I try to work on people's
Now,
budgets.
Now let me ask you this, because you come from somebody who's trying to build something like that. Would you give out discounts in the beginning to grow your business, or would you try to keep it streamlined?
That's just a silly shit right there.
No, see the thing
it's a business tactic.
Well, think about it.
No,
Exactly.
for me, I would have standard price and and that's that.
And that's the thing, like the 15, like they're like 15% off your price from
landscaping company.
Less,
Listen, landscaping company. It's gonna take them. It's gonna other companies and shit. It's gonna take them. Maybe a week or 2 to come out to you. I'm trying to come out there in one day, or send my guys out there and do it in one day.
Yeah.
We trying to do a standard price of but if any extra work, we gonna actually price that as well. So we try not to
just to be upfront.
Beat no one. Yes, we don't beat no one. We don't like to beat anyone. We like to work on people's budget, and if this is what you get paid, all right, this so much work we can do for you.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do the best we can to make it.
No one knew you'd be like cleaning up on your walk out, like doing more.
But I understand, I do all kind of shit. But like I said, I'm a hustling in heart. I know how to go get it. That's my thing. Is I want to feed my family on the way I know how to. And I'm gonna go out here and fucking make it happen. I don't give a fuck if I gotta get a job, if I get one job, $600-700 for one day, then I'm gonna go out there and work that 8 hours even if I'm by myself.
I do that 4 days.
I'm gonna do that. No. Yeah, I wish I could do that 4 or 5 days,
Right, you have that much business, you're saying.
Exactly. Yeah. If I had that much business, yes, I would do that absolutely.
Right.
But if you had that much business, you'd have actual crews.
I would have have crews. But the thing is, and that's the thing is I'm a one-man band, you know what I'm saying?
One-man band,
I come out there and fucking, I do everything by myself. And
if you want to do a handstand,
and I make it look good.
Well, it's like what I used to do with homie back in the day. You know what I mean? Like we would go and like there'd be a specific day we would do lawn mowing.
Yeah.
So like we would do like 8 to 10 lawn mows, and then the other days of the week, we might go do some tree work, or we might go.
What's that? What do you do? Like $50 a line?
Go back years.
That's what y'all doing, $50 a line?
No, honestly,
well, man,
this was
my price is.
No, but this was so many years ago, dude. I don't even remember. But the thing about it is,
I get fucking money. I ain't playing.
Oh, yeah.
No, like
absolutely not.
But
well, actually,
different.
I do a really good job though.
No, but different times. You know what I mean? Like money.
You was younger, so you was younger.
Well, no,
now.
but no.
Right now,
what do you think about that? Money was worth
yesterday
more.
money.
You know what I mean?
Yesterday money ain't today's money. You know what I'm saying? So
no,
yesterday's money.
It's not today's money. Like Fat Joe said. Fat Joe said it perfect.
Today hungry.
Today money is is way different. You got these YouTubers out here, bro, that's making millions of dollars by just by accessing the world on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if a Tupac or Biggie had that back in the days. Do you think it would have been much killing, or how would you think it would have been? It would have been more. I think they would have advanced more. That's what I would think. I would think people like them in the hip hop world would have vanished. I mean, they would have made more out of it than think we're gonna go to war.
I don't know.
Right?
I don't know if I agree with that.
No, it would all be online, and they'd be like, what do you call it, shadow, like, obsessed people.
It would be people. No, it would be people that's actually, if they was online back then in those times, instead of putting out, they was putting out fucking tapes. I think it wasn't even CDs.
Yeah, mixtapes out the trunk.
It was tapes. It was tapes. It wasn't even CDs. So back in those 95, 96,
you had to
before
rewind them.
CDs came out, you know what I'm saying?
Press the number
you gotta understand, you know what I'm saying? If they had a taste of a MySpace, those guys would have been much bigger. They would have never had no issue with the other because it would have been much bigger. It would have been much bigger than that. It's about spreading that love.
If they had that, people would have been somewhere else. So on the computer instead of out where to hear them and see them.
I know you gotta look at it kind of though, like
you're just saying it's a hostile mentality. You got them do it. I understand that.
Well, you look at like hip hop, for example. You look at the East versus West. Like, would hip hop be the same if that never happened? Probably not. Probably wouldn't be as big as it is either.
I think it will be bigger because
if they never had the East versus West.
No, it wasn't the East Coast versus the West Coast. You know what I mean? That's where y'all get it wrong at. It wasn't the East Coast.
Don't put me in this circle.
Well, no. BBT, that's where you.
I was like, I'm just sitting here. I didn't say nothing.
That's where you get it wrong. It wasn't the East Coast versus the West Coast. It was fucking Bad Boy versus Death Row. So that's where everybody get it mixed up at. Yeah. People were saying, "Oh, yeah, it was the East Coast versus the West Coast." No. You got guys like Method Man can go out on the West Coast and get love and get that love out there during those times, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And he was from the East Coast, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I was watching a video not too long ago where Method Man was saying that, Tupac said, if we do anything, Death Row, if we do anything with anybody, it'll be Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? So right off the bat,
Wu-Tang Clan was so crazy though.
So it's like this right here. But it's a lot of crazy motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Yeah. Death Row was crazy. You got all kind of crews that's crazy. But the thing is, it's not about that. You have to come to a conclusion where you don't want none of that around you. You want all business aspect, and you want to grow as a person, as a as an
individual, but
as a community.
I think you want to help people grow too.
As a community leader, you want to grow as a person.
I don't want to be a community leader. I just want to grow. I want to work with people, learn from them, teach them what I know. I think that's strong. I don't like the word leader or follow. Well, I like walking with people.
Well, that's okay to walk with people, but you can walk with people, but some people, look at a hose off the side of the house, and look at the nozzle and fucking wonder how to turn it on. But you're the only man know how to turn it on.
Yeah.
So you know, at that point when you turn it on and the water start coming out,
I
you
mean,
become the
I don't
leader.
think I'd be working with anybody that
become
didn't
the
know how to
leader.
turn on.
So,
a,
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I know it's not
No,
about
just a
that.
simple example. I guess.
It's just a simple example for you to understand.
I think my problem is getting people to rally together.
Right.
You know,
I
that's
mean,
my issue.
everyone have a fucking. It's a leader everywhere. However
Yeah.
you see it,
There's a
in
leader in
life,
everyone.
is a leader
Well,
in everyone, and
superstars.
every fucking person around you.
Well, here's the
There's a
thing.
leader.
Well, here's the thing about like music from like back in the day, back when like Pac and Biggie were doing things. The main way they got money was doing shows, and now with like the way they sell music, like you don't even need a whole CD. You can sell individual tracks.
You're like,
You know what I mean?
But what I heard, these ones came in the same pack.
But
No,
what I heard, like,
it's mine already.
what I heard, you had all these new like hip hop artists that, like blowing up or whatever, have trouble selling tickets. So like they actually make more money off of their songs now versus back in the day you'd make more money off your shows.
You just tap your knee, bro.
Yeah, but like I said, you know, motherfuckers smoke that herb. You know what I mean? We in a motherfucking
yeah, that could be a podcast.
We in a herb state. You know what I'm saying? So we shall have that type of energy because we are in a bud.
I'm sitting there
state.
puffing on a vape, and I don't even do fucking vape.
That's what I'm telling you. And
you see me. I knew you were looking at me funny.
We're in a bud state.
I
So
do vapes.
you know what I mean? If we was in a bud state, I say try to keep it, but we're in a fucking bud state. We are fucking beautifully. You know what I'm saying? You know, we love where the fuck we at. You know, yeah.
As we grow together.
We have to enjoy our shit because that's our shit. You know, and you know, and I know the whole
I'm
world.
a grower and
And the
a
whole
shower,
world can
she said,
understand
and
because
all
you know half of the motherfuckers smoke. You feel me? So you know you can't blame the next little motherfucker that's trying to be a millionaire. You know, I don't believe in that because everybody have an addiction to fucking something. You know what I mean? And hustling is a fucking addiction to the right person. To the right person. You know what I'm saying? To the right person, hustling is an addiction and it graspful as a young age, as a fucking youth, as a youth. You know what I mean? Like having nice things, like having,
favorite part,
you know what I mean? Like having good things. You know what I'm saying? And I understand you saying taxes and pay taxes.
No.
But the thing is, but the thing is in life, bro.
Yeah.
What have that shit ever done for you?
I mean,
pay taxes?
Yeah, I mean, getting a tax refund.
I get it.
No.
That's better than bank.
But in life, but how long you been working for, brother? Not me asking you.
But
and I can tell you how long I've been working for too. But and how long have you been working for?
So taxes.
I'm removing myself from this conversation.
No. Taxes.
I'm just saying. I'm just trying to do math in my head.
Hold on.
I'm a smart.
I want to be real clear, but not all.
So you guys
taxes,
sit there.
Not all
the government
taxes
brings
is
in
bad.
everything that we don't need.
No,
the government brings in everything. The military brings everything.
But not all taxes.
They do that shit. They surround. They actually give it to fucking people. You know what I mean? And people thinking it's crazy, but no, it's logic.
Yeah,
it's logic. Because
logic,
guess what?
Control.
Guess what? This shit is populated, you know what I'm saying? We already know it's populated control. You know, we know drugs kill people and, you know, so they're going to have that in this life. They're going to have that.
But on that
you
note, we take
but
a break and smoke a dart.
You want a dot?